Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Republic. This is their part number 3880316. This is they call it a hinge filler. They call it a hinge filler is what it is. Or it's a handing plate or a reversing plate. And it is used, it's a required piece of equipment is the bottom line. This is used when you have a square edge reversible door. So steel doors are either beveled or square on the styles. A beveled door is always going to be a handed door, even though there are times when a beveled door can be flipped over. It's not often, but there are instances when it's possible. In all other scenarios, bevel doors are never reversible, although occasionally they are. Well, that means that almost all of your inventory is handed. That means I've got lefts and rights, and that's a hassle. I remember when I first got started in the door business, the advent of the reversible non-handed door in 1990, according to my understanding, brought to market by the Kiwani Corporation, was a new concept. That door was called the VMAX door, in fact, and featured square styles. And what Kiwani did was they made all the doors square, which means that a net door size was now a 1/4 inch pre-fit rather than a 3/32 pre-fit on each side, because now you've got a square edge door. So in order to make that non-handed, they basically took the hinge prep and cut it all the way through the door, straight through, and then drilled a total of 8 holes for your hinges. So you can put the hinge on this way or on this way. But the problem then is that it required this handing plate, this loose plate. So every door that you ordered that was a square edge non-handed VMAX door, you would put your plate however you needed it to be. And that's what this plate is. It's required for that installation. If you don't have these plates, you can get the door hung, but it's certainly going to be hinge bound and it wouldn't be finished. This is a 5-inch version, so that's the part number. Obviously less common than a 4.5, but 5-inch are very common, and you're going to see those installed 5-inch tall hinges when you have doors that are 3'6" and wider. It's a common industry standard to go with a taller hinge when you have a wider or certainly a heavier door. The width of the hinge wouldn't change. It would still be 4.5 wide, or maybe even 4-inch, but 5 by 4.5 would be typical for your 3'6", your 3'8", your 4.0 doors. If you had 16 gauge, 14 gauge doors, yes, 5-inch and heavyweight would certainly make a lot of sense. So with the advent of that reversible style door many, many years ago, that I understand, according to the owner of Kiwani, Mr. Fred Pippin, a really great fellow who retired sometime around 2005, around there, 2006 maybe, 2008, somewhere in that range. He retired. Fred had told me that Kiwani literally invented the VMAX door to solve the problem of the fact that their E-Series door and their D-Series door. E-Series was a lock seam edge standard door. The D-Series was a different animal altogether. It was beveled, welded styles, substantially heavier gauge hinge reinforcement. The hinge plate in a D-Series was a continuous piece of 7-gauge steel, so it was one heck of a door. But everything was handed. Now, you could take a 6'8", a beveled 6'8" door and turn it over because Kiwani locations are equidistant on all of their doors, but on a 6'8", it's equidistant on the lock as well. So you could have taken that door and flipped it over, provided you were doing a cylindrical lock prep. So that would be... you can imagine the advent of the VMAX door was a godsend for inventory, but it does require the handing plate. So this is a little hemmed over edge where your hinge the back side of your hinge prep, this is going to be the push side, and your hinge plate, your hinge is going to butt right up to this hemmed over edge. This is the 5-inch version. They obviously have a 4.5-inch version. The thickness of this material is 30 thousandths, so all but insignificant. But the door has been calculated to accept this thickness. And I'm not as familiar with the Republic door that this would come out of, but I imagine their stock doors that are reversible can handle heavyweight, standard weight or heavyweight hinges. And of course the location of these screw holes would be considered template pattern for this material. Okay. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Republic products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Republic is a comprehensive, full-line manufacturer of hollow metal doors and frames, and it has been in business for several decades. Very unusual that you have a requirement that they cannot meet with their line of manufactured product. Any questions on the Republic 3880316 hinge filler, 5-inch tall, or the reversing plate, or the handing plate, or any other Republic product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.